All right. Welcome Greg Owen to the Media Center at the RBC Canadian Open. Greg, 63 today. Just maybe talk about the keys to your round today and maybe talk a little bit about conditions out there.
Well, obviously I putted pretty well. I think you shoot 63, you have to putt well, so that was the strength of my game today, which is unusual. But you've got to keep it in play. Just hit the fairways. It's not a long golf course. Hit the fairways and then give yourself as many chances as you can, and that's what I did today. It's off to a rough start, but played pretty solid from then on.
And conditions out there, guys were talking about maybe a little softer?
Yeah, I think we had some rain last night. The fairways were a little soft. The greens were soft, so they were, you could fire at the flags. It got a little windy at times. Kept coming up and down. So it was a little tricky in the middle, but played pretty well, and the wind seemed to die really the last 3 or 4 holes.
Great. Open up to questions.
Greg, after that tough start you alluded to there, did you have any bad thoughts that maybe the day was going to get away from you, or did you keep your emotions in check?
No, emotions were real good, which is unusual as well. So, I wasn't even sure whether I'd be playing this week with my hand. I was really 50-50 as to whether I should be playing or not, but my goal at the start of this year was to play in the PGA Championship, and this is the last chance I got to do it. So I was going to give it all, and obviously when I started that way, I'm like, okay, well, not a lot lost because I wasn't sure I was playing anyway, but I started playing well, and you just keep moving, just keep momentum going, and that's the way it was going. Every time I missed a couple of greens, chipped it close, knocked the putt in, and then birdied the next hole, and just kept going.
Greg, you've always been a guy who hits a lot of greens. Do you kind of live and die by your putter? Is that a fair assessment?
I think everybody knows that. It's this year my stats haven't been that good with the putter. It's probably about normal for me, about 170 or something like that. But I've actually putted a lot better this year. I've holed out a lot better, and today is just something that I was expecting somewhere along the line because I've worked hard at it. It's something I'm continuously working at. And it's just nice to feel comfortable and hit the ball where I'm looking, because in previous years it has been a real struggle for me.
Have you been working with anybody, or is it just hard work, practice on your own?
Just figuring it out. Actually talking with one of the caddies, Daniel Chopra's caddy, who is a pro. Just simplifying things, and just also work with Trip Eisenhower a little bit from the Golf Channel. I saw him. And just got some routines going, and just working a lot more on my short putts, which gives me confidence on the longer putts.
All right, Ian?
Greg, I was wondering, first of all, did you hear the storms last night? Are you staying in Hamilton, and did you hear the storms?
I didn't. I'm not sure whether I heard them or not. I thought I may have heard them, but I'm staying in Burlington, and my room is facing indoors, so I haven't got a window to outdoors, so I didn't see the rain. I obviously just woke up and there was puddles in the parking lot, so I presumed it rained quite a bit.
Were you happy to see that?
Was I happy to see it?
The
No, because I thought the rough was going to be a lot harder to get through. So I was a little worried coming out here, depending on how many fairways and stuff, because the rough's obviously going to be really lush and thick. So to keep it out most of the fairways, hit most of the fairways, it was pretty good.
So you did the job, in other words, keeping it in the fairway.
For 16 holes, yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Could you explain a bit more about your hand as well?
I was in the 14th hole at Lytham last week, first round, and I hit it left. And the ball looked like you could go and get it. So I attempted a full shot with a 7-iron. Actually hit the ball really well, got it flag high, like 170 yards away. But as I hit the ball, the club just stopped dead, and my hand just took the whole brunt of it. And I bogeyed the next 3 holes, and I struggled, and it hurts when I'm warming up. It's like it's just sore. I don't know if I can do any more damage or what. I hope I can't. But once it loosens up, it's not too bad. I just got to be careful on how deep divots I take and how hard I go after it in the rough. Hopefully, if I hit in the rough, I'm going to get decent lies. So
no broken bone, no tendon.
I believe it's ligament damage, but I get a little swelling just off the wrist and into the hand at night. But I just want to play this week and give it my best shot. So hopefully we can last all 4 days and keep playing like I did today.
Let's hope so.
Did you work for a little while with Sean Foley?
Yeah.
And how did that, or when did that end, I should say?
Me and Sean have been on and off before. When he first started coaching Stephen Ames, we worked a little bit down in Florida, and I'd just come out of a relationship with my teaching pro from 20 years, so I wasn't really sure what I wanted. And Sean obviously started progressing, and then I went on nationwide tour and just couldn't get to see him. So I started working with a guy called Gregor Jameson from Lake Nona for a year, who teaches Retief. And then I started working with Sean again, and we started working really well. And then again, I lost my card. We only started working at the end of a year, and I lost my card, and I just couldn't get to see him. So now I'm working with a guy called Donnie Lee, who was working with Core Golf down with Sean. So we're working very similar fundamentals and characteristics, and I like the way Sean teaches. I think he's a great coach and still a good friend.
Greg, could you take us through what happened on your first hole, which I guess is the 10th? Were you out of bounds on the right?
I actually hit it in the rough. I was only like a yard or so in the rough on the right, and then ball was sitting real horrible. It was like this matty kind of rough, and so I tried to chop it out, and it caught the tree and went in the hazard on the right. Took a drop, chipped it on, 2-putted, and then hit a decent drive on the next hole and just went through the fairway and got a horrible lie. So I made 5 there.
So that's your start. I mean, what's your mindset at that point? And it's funny because somebody said, "Oh, you've got this good score going," and they said, "Oh, he started on the back." And I kind of looked at it, and it's like back doesn't look all that impressive. And then there's just, was there a moment or a point where this just started coming together?
No, not really. I had a good drive off the 3rd hole. I don't think many people have been driver there, and I thought if I don't want to go in the rough and I want to hit it off a tee so I don't take a divot, so I'll hit driver. I actually did a great drive, hit it up to like 5 feet, hold it, and I thought, okay, well, there's some momentum, and then hit a good shot into the 4th hole, par 3. Hit the wrong club, came up short, had to hold a 4-footer there for par, knocked that in, and then I just started seeing the line. Those 2 putts, the 3rd hole and the 4th hole, I just saw the line so well that when I got on the green in the next couple of holes, I just felt confident I was going to hold them. I birdied 5 and 6, I believe. And all of a sudden you're back to even par, and then it's like, okay, well, a couple unders finishing is in top 20, so if I can get into red figures, I'll be doing all right. And then just momentum kept going, kept hitting it to like 10, 12 feet and holding it, and that's just the way it's been all day. Just saw the lines and managed to hit it where I wanted to hit it.
Is it easy for you mentally to, when you get off to that kind of start, to sort of tweak it and turn it around, or is that difficult as it is for everybody?
I think if I'd have been physically healthy, I think I'd have probably caused more damage before. But no, I'm not known for my patience. But as I said before, I don't feel 100%, and when you go into a round of golf with no expectations, then things can go either way. And it started off bad. I'm thinking, okay, well, it's just to play. Just play, see what happens, and obviously started playing well, and the putter started working.
Can you take that round into the next one? Or is it sort of end and tomorrow's you start again?
As I said before, my main goal for this year, at the start of the year, coming out of Q School category, is to play in the PGA Championship. That was my goal. This is my last chance. So I'm going to try and just stay calm and just do exactly what I've done today. I've been around a few years now, so leading after round 1 doesn't mean a lot. You guys get to see us after round 1, but for us it's more a case of, all right, well, that's a start, and then we just go, and tomorrow could bring. You only have to miss the fairways by a yard, and it's you're better off missing by 10 yards out here than a yard. So you can play pretty good out here and not get many rewards, and you can drop back to the field pretty easily. So I'm just going to go out again and try and take care of my hand and hit as many fairways as I can, and hopefully the putter will keep working.
Did you play many? This is a Harry Colt course. I mean, he only did 2 in Canada and did very little in North America, but at your home, you know, in the UK, he's very common. I mean, does it seem familiar style-wise?
It's very English looking, parkland, you know, a lot of big trees. So yeah, in a way it is an English kind of course, but we play so many courses, I don't think you can really have a favorite type of golf course. You know, at the end of the day, you're picking numbers and you're hitting shots, whether, you know, it doesn't matter really what the beauty of the course is like, you're still looking at the flag and trying to hit a shot certain yardage. So I think I felt comfortable out there today, so that's, you know, hopefully I can keep playing and feeling that way for the rest of the week. A few more.
You talked about how receptive the fairways were as far as not going into the rough. As far as the greens go, how important was that to you? I mean, were you sticking it pretty close? Can you talk a little bit about how receptive the greens were today?
Yeah, I mean, obviously when you get a sand nine in your hand or something, you can spin them back. Other than that, they're very soft, but they're not really spinning a whole lot. So you get in there with like an 8-iron or a 9-iron, and they're stopping pretty quick. I mean, I hit a 5-iron for the 4. I don't even know which hole it is. I actually talked backwards to the other holes before. I think it's the 4th, the par 5. I hit a 5-iron down there, straight downwind, and it's when the wind picked up, and it stopped within like 12 feet. So they're pretty receptive. I'm sure they'll try and dry them out for the rest of the week. I don't know what rain's going to come tonight or tomorrow. We'll just adjust and see what happens.
Last question, how is that affecting your putting stroke? I mean, obviously it worked for you, but are you better on slow greens than you are on?
Well, actually, since I've been in the States, I've got better on quicker greens. I struggled a little bit at Lytham last week because they were a little slower. But they're a nice pace for me here. It's they're not overly quick, and they're not overly slow. So it's just nice. You're not feeling like you're going to hit a putt and they're going to get away from you. The only time I felt like that was on 18, and when I went bigger the hole there, and that green is just brutal coming down that slope. So they're a nice pace for me. But I'm actually, I mean, obviously playing all my golf here in America now, you're going to get used to quick greens like Congressional and Quail Hollow. So my stroke is probably better for quicker greens. So it's a nice transition from the Open to here.
Okay. Thank you, Greg.